Now, she manifested her specific person back with the sheer force and determination of her affirmations. And she thought, like many of us do, that when her SP came back to her, this time it was going to be for keeps. However, he ended up vanishing again, like so many of her other partners before that. So why is it that many people in this community manage to get what they want, or perhaps they feel like they're very close to getting what they want, only to then lose it all again? If any of you watching this right now have ever gotten close to something, only to then have it slip away, whether it was to do with money or a job or health or love, then what you're about to see here is essentially your story too, because quite simply put, you cannot keep what you have not become. And manifestation isn't about stacking words or positive thoughts and vibrations into your head, but it's about installing a version of you deep in the identity level, so that success and keeping that success, I should say, is just an inevitable aftermath. Today's story is going to be a fascinating one, and I know that many of you get a lot of value from these case studies and successes. And I'm going to break down for you all, like I always do, exactly why this happened to her. Why did she lose her success? And it's actually based on two hidden mistakes that guarantee you will lose the manifestation. And in fact, these mistakes are very common. In fact, I guarantee that out of like there's 99% of you watching this. I guarantee actually 99% of you watching this now, you're making at least one of these mistakes, because that's how commonplace it is. And in fact, if you would like to, if you're feeling brave enough, comment in the comment section below and share with me which mistake you perhaps didn't realize you were making, but now you've realized, now you're aware, and now you're going to change it. So are you ready? Because it's Friday. Grab yourself a hot drink, sit back, relax, because this is your time to shine, everyone. This is your time for success. And I want you all to start collecting these juicy gems I'm about to drop. There's this whole video, juicy gems sprinkled in everywhere. I want you to not just listen to this success story, but I want you to actually act like a detective. I'm going to ask all of you to listen very, very closely to her words. Listen to what she says. I want you to see if you can actually spot the two critical errors before we get to the part where I point it out for you. All right? That's your challenge right now, okay? So let's play detective. See if you can crack the code. Cheers, everybody. Here's to you. Lovely. So let me just get this up. And because I was talking with her today about her story, and just discussing on WhatsApp, like I do sometimes with my clients. And it was a very frustrating time for her, as you can imagine. But she's graciously shared so that we can learn from her mistakes and to see that it's not all hopeless. You can turn this around. So she started off, she said in her message, like, yeah, Athena, you are more than welcome to share my story. Here are the details for your channel. I'll just type it in here for you if that's okay. When I first manifested my SP back in early 2023, I did what everyone on TikTok was saying, robotic affirmations. He misses me, he loves me, he doesn't look at any other woman, he's only attracted to me, he wants to be with me and is choosing me, he's thinking of me all the time. I repeated them like a machine, like literally more than 200,000 times. And it did work for me. I mean, wow, 200,000? How do people count how many times they're affirming? 200,000 times, right? And it did work for me as he came back to me like 6 months later, after no contact and a bad fight. I was dedicated, as you know, and I didn't falter. So he came back, texting me that he was thinking of me and that he missed me, just like I had affirmed. I thought this was it, and I broke my curse, because literally all of my relationship with guys that I really like end in this way. Things go good at first, and then when I fall in love, they go ghost or they're avoidant and they never want to commit. We end up fighting and it's messy and it's the same thing every time. So soon after he texted me all of this, he started pulling away again, even when I was doing the affirmations and I was sticking to the mental diet. But he felt more distant and I freaked. I write my affirmations and I sleep on the pillow with the paper underneath. I watched his socials constantly, looking for signs of what was going on. Like if he was following anyone, new, and if he was seeing someone else. I didn't get what was wrong. We had months of silence without much explanation, just him saying that he wasn't ready and he was ignoring all messages even after. Ignoring all messages after, even blocking me on Insta. So by the time I came to see you, I didn't know where I'd gone wrong. I could get him back, but I couldn't keep him. And at this point, I didn't even care if I manifested SP or someone better, because I was just sick of this pattern, losing love all the time. I know the hypnosis that we did for him and I was magical. I never felt that way before, and it was amazing, because no matter how much I affirmed, I didn't feel the love and connection so strong like I did in hypnosis. I started getting lots of attention at work, and when I went out with the girls, I felt so confident. I would think of my SP, but I didn't feel so attached. I missed him, yeah, but I wasn't needing answers. I felt good either way. So I think it was like another 4 months. He started liking my stories and my pictures, started commenting on them, even suggesting to meet. Normally, I'm the one doing all of this, but first time he's suggesting it. I let him flow in because this time I felt pretty confident, like I want him, but I don't need him. He's not the only one in the world for me. I think this way as my self-concept was on point. I found out a lot from him, like he was getting therapy for his fears and that his grandfather died and it sent him into a spiral, which he said he cut everyone out, not just me. He said he was looking at my socials just to see me, but didn't feel good enough to reach out. Slowly, we built up talking more, meeting up, dating. We've been dating now for over a year. We met each other's families and he got me a promise ring for my birthday. Do you know, I don't even know what a promise ring is. Is that like before a kind of engagement ring sort of thing, or is it something different? Promise ring sounds very promising. You see what I did there? And this is my first proper relationship and my longest one ever. I'm still keeping up with my inner work and watching all of your videos to keep me on track. Thank you so much, Athena. I never thought I would get here. Finally, this time I'm keeping my manifestations, all of them. I'm in the driver's seat. And I love that. Empowering words at the end there, darling. And yes, congratulations. And yeah, let me know if anyone knows this thing about promise rings. What are they promising? Or can you promise anything? Like, I promise I'll get you some cake. Here's a ring. So, how many of you watching this, we're playing detective. You stuck to the challenge. Did you spot those key mistakes? Because I'm gonna reveal all in the breakdown, and this is going to change absolutely everything for you who might be experiencing the same. Because this story that you've just heard is essentially, that is the most common and the most painful kind of thing that can happen to you in the manifestation community. It's basically the story of the relapse pattern, right? That brutal cycle of success followed by a failure. And that's what convinces so many of you that you're cursed, that it wasn't meant to be, that it was like, fate and bad luck and stuff, okay? It wasn't due to any outside source. It's all to do with a subconscious program that's running in the background that you're not even aware that it's running. That's the thing with these programs. But the relapse pattern, I promise you, is not a curse. Like, she thought she was cursed. It's not a curse. It's just a program like any other. And that means, the good news is, you can absolutely deconstruct it and delete it. So let's deconstruct this code behind this particular client's story. And in doing so, I'm going to essentially show you the code behind yours. Because as Carl Jung states, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. And that's what happens so much. We put all our power into an outside source, right? It's all out of our hands. It is what it is, all those famous sayings. But we know better here, right? I really appreciate, by the way, you guys have been getting in touch. You've been encouraging me to make more videos like this, and please let me know, if they've been helpful to break down these case studies for you. you know, because you were just like, this is great, you're providing all this information freely, and you know, many of you have been telling me as well that you've been getting so much more value from these videos and these case study breakdowns that you would from courses and programs that some of you have been spending like tens of thousands upon, you know. I mean, wow. But that's really special to me, and that really fires me up, because my mission here is very simple, and it was always to provide you guys with the deepest tools in manifestation, so that you can all get success, because I do truly believe you all deserve to win. And that's why our success rates are so high in this tiny little community, in this little family here. So are you ready? You taking notes still? I mean, this client, let's face it, it's evident. She's a fantastic manifester. She manifested her SP in the first place. All of you have manifested what you desire in the first place. But she couldn't keep it. Okay, she got her SP back after 6 months of no contact. She used this very popular method, robotic affirmations. Many of you would have heard about it. I've always said I never personally use them. I'm lazy, and I was a sufferer of anxiety, so the dissonance would have been terrible for someone with someone like me. That could have led to, you know, OCD kind of thing, right? So I personally never use them, but I know many people who have, and essentially for her it worked, albeit temporarily. So I just want to diagnose why that was, and the two critical errors that basically made this relapse inevitable. So we've got mistake number one that she made, and that was essentially that she focused more on programming the thought instead of installing an identity. Did you guys notice that? She's programming her thoughts rather than changing the identity, and that's what I'm all about in this channel. You always have to go deep enough to change at the identity level. So at the beginning of her message, it read very much like a sort of military campaign, didn't it? Because she was saying I was repeating them like a machine. So that tells you a lot about the mindset that she was in while she was doing it, and therefore the need to do it 200,000 times. It's like, what is that? It's like over 1,000 affirmations a day if she was doing it for like roughly 6 months or more. My maths is not great, but let's just say it's a lot, right? I mean, it's a real testament to how dedicated, and that's why I say for most of you, it's nothing about you're not putting in enough effort, you're not doing the work. And I mean, some of you are going like well above and beyond, right? Some of you are so dedicated, but the technique only worked for her on the surface level because it was working on her conscious thoughts. Thinking of like what William James, I don't know if any of you have heard of William James, he's the father of American psychology, and he taught that the greatest discovery of my generation is that a human being can alter his life by altering his attitudes of mind. And in her case, this particular method hadn't altered her attitude of mind. You know, it hadn't changed anything on a deeper level for her. And that again takes us to what James's teachings had implied, which was essentially that the mind always returns to the image that it holds of itself. Always. So when you look at her language and you think about what happened, what she said, how she described it, you can probably see quite clearly why it didn't work for her. Despite the insane number of repetitions, why didn't it work for her? Right, that should have been enough. Repeat it enough, you fool the mind, new neural pathways in the brain. But as we've spoken before, subconscious mind is not the brain only. That's a part of it, but there's a whole neurological system going on here that we're forgetting. And this is where modern science backs up what Neville and ancient teachings have been saying all along. Joe Dispenza in particular, because I've been refreshing myself on some of his work again lately. And I know that he might be coming more from, in some cases, law of attraction, but it's all relevant. It's just different language, different vernacular for the same thing. And in his book, if you've read it, the Breaking the Habit, how many of you have read that? Was it Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself? Breaking the Habit. And it was Breaking the Habit of something. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, yes. He said that you can't think one way and feel another way and expect anything in your life to change, because how you think and how you feel creates your state of being. It's how you think, how you feel. Now, I see it as your thoughts are always a byproduct or a manifestation of the state. Anything that can be observed, your thoughts, feelings, your actions. These are byproducts. These are already manifestations on the state of the state, right? So she's thinking on the surface level, oh, okay, you know, he's thinking of me, he loves me. But the core identity was still saying it from the place of being abandoned and wounded, right? Still from the place of the programming that, yeah, everyone I love, they always leave me. So, yeah, she was programming her thoughts, but her body, which is the subconscious mind, was still running the old code of fear, doubt, neediness. And that's the thing, you know, the body needs to be reconditioned into this new identity before you will start to see change. So how many of you are going through something similar then? Because I was talking about this to the other coaches that I've been collaborating with. Obviously, we've been collaborating a lot more. Many coaches have come to me, have worked with me on their... I don't know why everyone's coming to me for specific person manifestation. I do other things, but many of them do. I suppose it's all the emotional layers that it can bring with it, a lot of childhood wounds. And we consult with each other. And like I say, brilliant coaches from all over the world, you know, America, Europe, Canada, and they teach this method as well. Some of them actually teach it and use it. They often say that they tend to teach other things alongside robotic affirmations. But the distinction that we're actually seeing, the more we're discussing it and the more that we're seeing from our data, is that if used on its own like that, oftentimes doesn't seep in at the identity level. Your identity level, like I say, is still running that old code, because the subconscious is not a file that resides in your brain. It's the way that your whole body remembers who you are. And that's what you're doing with any technique you're using. You're reminding your whole body, your whole nervous system, your whole being of who you are, i.e. the version of you who has the desire. So if your body doesn't buy, if your body doesn't buy it, then it's never going to be reflected back. And that's why so many people get confused why it's not working for them. This is precisely the reason actually why Joseph had set up to relentlessly, he's been working on this software development. Many of you who follow Joseph Ally, he is my specific person that I've manifested. A wizard with technology, I'm obviously not. But this new software is absolutely incredible, because at the moment we're pioneering something that no one else has done yet. And it's to do with mapping thousands and thousands of case studies with other coaches' permission, of course. That's why we're making such good connections with some coaches. They have like huge channels as well. And with their permission, we've been collating all of this evidence to see what the pattern is underneath all of these manifestations, whether they're manifestation successes or failures or ones that didn't quite take off. And in this specific instance, the main reason why people might not get long-lasting effects on their manifestations is because the deep level identity work, it's not touched them on the deeper level. So it doesn't matter what technique that you do, by the way, but you have to ensure that it's touching you on a deeper level. Because for her, she's programming the thought the whole time, but she never embodied the state in all of those 200,000 times of responding to something or repeating something, I should say, like a machine. Like a machine. We're not machines, right? So no matter what methods you use, you must always ensure that you are embodying it. Even with your affirmations, you must embody it. And when you do, what you're going to find, much less repetition is needed. I mean, Joseph has taught power affirmations. Literally, those of you, so many people were getting success with it all the time. Once or twice repeated, done, decree, because of the strength and the intention behind it. So that was her mistake number one. Mistake number two, she was using the 3D world for validation instead of just seeing it as a reflection. Big mistake. Something that we all fall into. I myself have fallen into it. Well, you can't help it, right? 3D reality is very alluring, very tempting. So you only have to look at her language to see the proof of this. Because she was saying, wasn't she, that, I would watch his socials, looking for signs, wasn't it? So if you look in her language, you can see that the identity was very much outsourced to the external world. She didn't really truly believe and accept that this is who she is. It was very much dependent on what was going on in the 3D. The 3D was there giving her the permission to feel secure rather than the other way around. And as Neville Goddard has taught us, you know, you don't change the mirror, right? You change your face. But she was trying to change the mirror. So what that means is that anytime reality starts to waver or to reflect something else, your whole world comes crashing down, right? If you didn't get the money in the way that you expected, or maybe your bridge was a bit bumpy, or maybe your SP came back and has messaged you and now maybe they've gone a little bit quiet, the whole world comes crashing down. Your whole sense of identity just breaks apart. It's like you just built a house on quicksand. You know, the foundation was not strong for it, and that's a huge problem for a lot of people, right? So you have to make sure that the structure is sound, hence again going to the deeper level and understanding that life is only ever your reflection. You don't do techniques to change the outside. Your technique is to change yourself and to give yourself an experience. And that's the thing, you see, that's why she managed to manifest him in the beginning. She got a result because her problem was not manifesting guys in. She was obviously manifesting guys in, but her pattern was that they always leave, and that core pattern was still running in the background. So do you see how, on this level, you see how she never really truly, even after 200,000 times, she never truly changed at the core. Her self-concept had not changed in relation to love and in relation to her ASP. So how many of you are familiar with that? Maybe you're sort of seeing this in your own story now. Let's go into how we solved it, shall we? Because it's all very well pinpointing where the problems are, but you know, I'm here to give you guys solutions so you can put it to use and continue getting success. Please keep on sharing your successes. I put all your successes up on the website. I don't care if you worked with me or not. All of you are relevant. All of you have a voice. All of you are important. So let's go into this, because we gave her basically a whole identity overhaul. And phase number one was simply just to extract the patterns and to deconstruct it. So let's diagnose, what is it? Okay, her pattern, as I've been mentioning throughout this, is that she is the woman who is always abandoned by men that she truly loves. That was her pattern. That was the subconscious program that was just running the whole show the entire time. So once you've done that, you go into phase two, and that's going to be identity installation. Now, in her particular case, we used hypnosis, and this is where we went beyond the conscious mind. We bypassed it, and we went straight to the subconscious and installed the new experience. And that's why when she said, no matter how much she affirmed, she never felt the love and connection so strong as she did through that hypnotic session, which says a lot, right? Because if feeling is the secret, remember, it's not feeling like emotions, although you might evoke emotions, right? But feeling as in the experience. I think that's actually a more accurate term to use. The experience is the key. So when she was repeating like a machine, she never gave herself the experience of being the version of her that was loved and missed, and plus a lot of it was focusing on him. A lot of the affirmations were focusing on middle things, you know, rather than go to the end. I'm already the one who is loved and committed to. So this targeted hypnotic immersion experience that we did, it didn't just tell her that she was loved, it actually guided her into a visceral feeling state of the woman who was perpetually chosen, secure, adored, cherished, in general and by that specific person. So we essentially gave her body the experience and a taste of the future. And as you guys already know, when you've been watching my videos, right, I've already shared, science has stated that, you know, the body cannot tell the difference between a real and an imagined experience. The body cannot tell. It still produces the same fluctuations in chemicals and hormones and everything, as though you were having a real life experience. So the results for her were actually quite immediate, but it varies for everyone. And I just want to point out as well, by the way, she used hypnosis. What you guys can use, I've got hypnosis, I've got a playlist, hypnosis playlist on everything, whether you're manifesting money, whether you're manifesting just the version of I am, and you can fit any label into that, manifesting an SP. This is all free, this is all available on my YouTube channel. manifesting love or SP, revision, whatever it might be. I've created a hypnosis for all those main pillars, even a wish fulfilled hypnosis, which stick whatever desire you want into it, gift you that feeling state. She needed something more customized and specific to her. But you can use that. You can use that hypnosis. You can use SATs. You can use power affirmations. You can script. But the idea is, what gets you into that state? What gets you to embody the identity and use that method? That's your method. So this was hers. This is what got her to change. This is what got her results. And she stated she felt very confident. Did you see the shift in her language? Because she started talking from the new identity, and that version of her felt confident, was going out, was getting attention. People were mirroring it back to her. She was saying that she would think about him and miss him, but she wasn't obsessed with him, right? She wasn't stalking his social media. She said she didn't need him. She didn't need him. So as you can see, and what that was pretty cool as well, wasn't it? That when we find out about what was going on in the SP's life when he actually came back, we realized how the tables turned, and how, because of her new energy and her confidence, he's feeling like he's not good enough now. He's feeling inclined to reach out and to sort of spy on her social media. It's kind of similar to what happened to my first SP when I found out he apparently had a burner account and was spying on me on my social media. I didn't understand that because he's the one who had me blocked, ironically, but he was still spying on me, right? So it's interesting how the tables turn, and whatever he saw of her in her life gave him the impression that, oh gosh, and I didn't feel like I could reach out, wasn't feeling good enough, That was just the perfect reflection right there of how powerful and secure she felt, and therefore he could only return to meet her at that level. And that's why this time around things happened, things stayed, things progressed, rather than falling back into the old pattern. Does that make sense? I hope so. So remember, you don't fix this pattern, this relapse pattern, through loads of efforting, loads of techniques, right? It's not about effort. You should all know that. You break this pattern by essentially just installing a new identity. And I don't care what method or tactic you use, whether it's a modality of therapy, which I love to use, like hypnosis or NLP or CBT are my favorites. Some of you have been using EFT tapping and other things as well, going other routes. Does it help you to embody the identity? Fantastic, it's yours. If it's scripting or affirming, or even if it's like, I don't know, dancing under the moon semi-naked or whatever you guys do, is it helping you to embody the identity? But you must think that whatever you do, your subconscious, the reason you're doing it is to give your subconscious the experience of your new self, your new state. What would it be like if this was true? What would it be like if this was me right now? Because the law was never about forcing change. You all know that. We're not forcing the 3D reality to change. It's always been about convincing yourself, reminding yourself, I should say, you already are and you already have everything that you desire right now. You're not trying to get anything, okay? So does that make sense? I really hope that helps you guys. You're not looking to fight to keep anything. You already embody everything right now. That's the real work. That's the thing that makes the difference between, whether you keep the desires long term or whether they come and go like ships in the night. You got it? I know you can do this. You guys are absolutely amazing. Please give me time. I've had an influx of emails lately about one-to-one consultations or questions about our Discord community. Please give me time to answer. If you do need support, we've got a fabulous Discord community. All the links are in the description box. People are absolutely flourishing there. We do weekly live Q&As. It's like having a private conversation, private coaching session, like little coaching session boosts every week. People have been blown away from the amount of value that they are getting from it, as well as our wonderful Neville bots too. So come and join us there if you do need additional support. But we've got you. Everything you need is in the content I freely provide here. So make use of it. Go get your success. I know you will. And I'll see you in the next video.